J-Town can't wait for the season to get started, but this will be my first negative comment on Tua. He's getting paid to stand around and practice. Homie, don't like that. It's interesting, J-Town. What's going on here is a dynamic of an agency using the leverage of their contract with Jordan Love and now with Tua. And so both guys are holding in, right? The agency's kind of trying to manipulate all of this. This is all agency driven, telling Love to hold in, telling Tua to hold in. Okay. Only problem is you're dealing with a different kind of front office. This is a front office that is pretty strong on their stances, and they don't really fold very easily. And when they have, just because they like you, just because they want you on the team, doesn't mean they're going to just, hey, let me bend over and have your way. And that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, right? And they have proven that overall. They love Tua. They have proven that the front office, not the owner, not the prior coach. Those people proved they weren't Tua people. These guys have proven Tua. They got the coach for him. All that they had the vision of, okay, we could get this guy as a coach, and he has the kind of system that this fits Tua, and he fell in love with Tua, and now you've built everything around Tua, and that's kind of where they're coming from. And they're coming from, hey, man, we got to build a team. We're not going to, just because everybody else wants to bend over. You're going to pay Jordan Love all that money after one season? That's dangerous. And remember, go listen to the shows at the end of the season and in the playoffs. You remember, Sean, how I thoroughly explained what happened to Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud, why they didn't play so well at the end? Do you remember what it was about? What was the element that was missing all of a sudden when they got to the playoffs? The running game. Go look. Go look at C.J. Stroud and go look at Jordan Love's seasons. And as long as they were running the ball, they were very effective as a quarterback. And then when they got to the playoffs, they shut down the run, and then they put the ball in the kids' hands, and it was tough, because it's tough for any quarterback to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that, while the kid played well, there were some things that if you really watch the games, our problem is that we don't really watch the games. We don't really know what we're watching sometimes. Not me, but some of you out there and some of our media brethren. And so with this whole situation, here's where, again, I'll mention it again, and where I'm like you, homie, don't like that. If I'm Tua, I take it the other way. I take all my reps. I'm super sharp. I want to be super sharp when the season starts. I want to have a season that I'm going to shove the ball down your throat and then tell you at the end of the season, no, mother effer, now you're paying me even more, because now you really have them by the balls. But if I'm Tua, I'm not Tua, and his agency doesn't give a they're just worried about the commission. Hold out. Oh, no, you'll be fine, this and that. And then when you're rusty and you don't play well and you make mistakes, and then that hurts your stance, or it puts you at risk, or all of a sudden you're not playing well, and then you start trying to do shit you're not supposed to because you want to get out of your funk, and then it snowballs on you and you have a terrible season. Then it backfires on you. Or if you lost weight now and you want to run around a little bit more and you want to buy yourself time, and you didn't learn your lesson that we've talked about on the show prior, don't hold on to the football 4 or 5 seconds. You will die in this league. So does he go back to playing hero ball, risking it and all that? There's a lot of bad shit that can happen to him if he's not playing well. So I am J-Town with you 1,000%. He should be taking snaps. He should be taking his reps. Nobody's going to hit him or anything. The chances of him getting injured are so slim at this point. But if you're not ready for the preseason games, if you're not ready for the scrimmages, and you don't have that stuff under your belt and you're sitting on the sidelines, and then when you don't play well in the regular season, don't blame anybody but yourself. And by the way, the media and the fans will ride on Tua. And will say, well, bro, you were selfish. You stood on the sidelines. It's that you're getting paid. You're not holding out. You're not out of a contract. No, you're under a contract. You have a 5th-year contract. You signed it. You got to play under it. And they can tag you for 2 more years. So, what are you doing? To me, this is the wrong thing he's doing. And if I'm the front office, I don't flinch at all. I know what this is happening. The Lawrence deal and now the Love deal is going to make these deals get out of control. And unfortunately, that's what this position is. It's completely out of control, the money you have to pay somebody. But since it's out of control and since, you want to play hardball, well, then you do the same thing. Say, well, okay, bro. We built the offense for you, everything. We set everything up for you. It's up to you. You want the contract? Go earn it. Go put us in a corner that we have no choice but to give you $60 million next year, not 55 or 57. Give you the guarantees that you're going to have 60, 63 million next year or per year because you went out and balled out and you won in the playoffs. And now you turn around and tell them, pay me, bro. Now if you don't pay me, now I own you don't own the fan base right now, Tua. You don't own the media right now. You don't own the general public. Okay? You got me on your side, but the reality is you don't have everybody. You do this. You go back and you take all your reps and you shove the ball down their throats and you go out there and ball because your team plays better and you go out and have a better season, then all of a sudden, all of the media falls on your side. All of the fan base, even the haters will say, no, dude, the guy balled out, won in the playoffs. There's nothing more you can do. He stayed healthy again. You got to pay that dude. So he's kind of in the middle. Does he want all that bad PR? He knows what it's like being him. It's already unfair being Tua. Do you want to really carry all this other extra stuff? I think Tua has a lot more to lose than the Miami Dolphins. A lot more to lose. He knows what it's like to be in a bed with a dislocated hip. So I'm just saying, he's got a lot to lose. So if I'm Tua, I would play. I would play and I would take it the other way and stick it to them. But this is driven by an agency that is manipulating 2 different quarterback situations. And then this is a situation that has gotten out of control because of the Jaguars' irresponsibility and probably the irresponsibility that's coming from the Green Bay Packers or about to, because they must know what ballpark they're in that they're saying, no. Let's get this contract signed and really put pressure on them. And I think that's where Greer and Company going to say, hey, man, if he wants to put the season in peril, he's under contract. Go for it. This is where we're at right now. This is where you want to sign this deal? That's great. You don't want to sign this deal? We'll talk next year. And that's it. That's all. And so in the end, the Dolphins can play the PR game that they're going to win early on because there's not enough of me out there that are going to go fanatical on the Dolphins. And, oh, my God, you're crazy not signing him and all that. And so as much as I believe in the kid, there's not enough of you out there that believe in him. So he has to fight that. And so if he wants to also put himself in because if he doesn't look sharp, who are you going to blame? You're going to blame him? He didn't want to practice. And he's got to know that. And I hope he and his agent have had this conversation. I hope you sit and you have the conversation of the pluses and the minuses, the pros and the cons. And there's a lot of cons for Tua Tagovailoa because the facts are you are under contract. It's not a tender that they put out and you didn't sign it. That could be next year. Next year, if you don't play well, and then now you wanted that money and you didn't get it, and now they're going to feel justified and they're going to say, well, we can tag you because we think you're good enough for the tag, but we're not going to give you that extra money. And now you're playing again on a tag. And why? Because you didn't practice. You didn't put yourself in a position to be sharp. When the season started, you weren't ready. You made mistakes. You didn't have a good season, and you put yourself behind the 8 ball. So, listen, he can do whatever he wants. His agents can do whatever they want. This is part of the game, man. Got to live with it, you know?
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.